Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all doing fantastic. Today, we're exploring the galaxy far, far away with Star Wars Outlaws, Ubisoft Massive's ambitious open-world take on the Star Wars universe. This isn't your typical Jedi story, there are no lightsabers or force powers here. You play as Cave S, a cunning scoundrel trying to pull off one of the biggest heists the galaxy has ever seen. Set between The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, during the height of the Empire's power, you'll navigate the criminal underworld, work with different crime syndicates, and try to survive in a galaxy where everyone's looking out for themselves. In this review, we'll break down the stunning visuals, explore the story and gameplay mechanics, compare it to other Star Wars games, and give you the final verdict on whether this outlaw adventure is worth your time. So grab your blaster, pet your Nick's companion, and let's jump to hyperspace. Let's start with the presentation, because Star Wars Outlaws is visually spectacular. Running on Ubisoft's Snowdrop engine, the same tech that powered The Division and Avatar, Frontiers of Pandora, this game brings Star Wars to life in ways we haven't seen before. You'll explore multiple planets, from the savannas of Tashara to the neon-lit streets of Canto Bight, and each location feels authentic to the Star Wars aesthetic. The lighting, especially during space travel sequences and sunset moments on alien worlds, is breathtaking. The story centers on Cave S, a street-smart thief who gets in over her head and decides the only way out is to go bigger. She assembles a crew to pull off an impossible heist that could set her up for life or get her killed. What makes this compelling is that Kay isn't a hero. She's morally gray, making deals with crime syndicates like the Hutts, the Pike Syndicate, and Crimson Dawn. Your choices affect your reputation with these factions, opening or closing opportunities throughout the game. Gameplay blends third-person shooter combat, stealth mechanics, and open-world exploration. Kay's blaster has multiple modes: stun, plasma, and ion, letting you adapt to different combat situations. Her companion, Nyx, is more than just cute, he's integral to gameplay. You can command Nyx to distract enemies, steal weapons, or trigger environmental traps. The stealth system rewards patience and planning, though if you're discovered, the combat is satisfying enough to shoot your way out. One moment that really stuck with me was infiltrating an Imperial compound on Tatooine. I used Nyx to create a distraction, slipped past stormtroopers, sliced into their security system, and escaped on my speeder bike with TIE fighters chasing me through canyon runs. That seamless blend of stealth, action, and vehicle gameplay felt authentically Star Wars, like living out a scene from the movies. Now let's talk about how Star Wars Outlaws stacks up against other games in this legendary franchise. First, compared to the Jedi, Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor series by Respawn, Outlaws takes a completely different approach. Those games are about mastering the Force, lightsaber combat, and being a hero. Outlaws strips that away and asks, what's life like for everyone else in this galaxy? You're not special, you're a survivor using your wits, blaster, and charm to get by. It's refreshing to see the Star Wars universe from this perspective. The closest comparison is probably the Knights of the Old Republic games, specifically KOTOR 2, where moral ambiguity and faction politics played major roles. Both games let you navigate gray areas and make choices that aren't simply good versus evil. However, Outlaws is action-focused where KOTOR was RPG-heavy with turn-based combat. If we go way back to Star Wars, Bounty Hunter or 1313, the cancelled Boba Fett game, Outlaws feels like the spiritual successor those games promised but never fully delivered. The underworld setting, morally complex protagonist, and focus on non-Force users, it's the Boba Fett experience we've been waiting for, just with a different character. Compared to open-world games like Red Dead Redemption 2, which clearly influenced this game, Outlaws captures that outlaw fantasy but in space. The reputation system with different factions, the wanted mechanics when you upset the Empire, and the emphasis on being a roguish survivor, it all feels like a space western, which is perfect given Star Wars roots. The space combat is another highlight. While it's not as deep as Star Wars, Squadrons or the classic Rogue Squadron games, it's satisfying. You pilot Kay's ship, the Trailblazer, through dogfights, navigate asteroid fields, and can seamlessly transition from space to planetary surface, no loading screens. That level of immersion is something we've never had in a Star Wars game before. One area where Outlaws doesn't quite measure up is mission variety. Some objectives feel repetitive: infiltrate a base, steal something, escape. Ubisoft's open-world formula shows through at times, which might frustrate players looking for more diverse mission design like what Jedi Survivor offered with its Metroidvania-style exploration. So what's the final verdict on Star Wars Outlaws? This is a bold, refreshing take on the Star Wars universe that proves you don't need a lightsaber to tell a compelling story in this galaxy. Is it perfect? No. The mission structure can feel formulaic at times, and some of the faction reputation mechanics could be deeper. But what it does well, it does exceptionally. The world building is top tier, the visuals are stunning, and Kves is a genuinely likable protagonist with a compelling arc. If you've ever wanted to be Han Solo, charming your way out of trouble, making questionable deals, and living on the edge of legality, this is the game for you. It's not about saving the galaxy, it's about surviving it and maybe getting rich along the way. I'd recommend Star Wars Outlaws to anyone who loves open-world games, Star Wars lore beyond the Jedi, and stories about morally complex characters. It's a solid 8 out of 10, an excellent addition to the Star Wars gaming library that carves out its own unique identity. Thanks so much for watching. If this review helped you decide whether to pick up Outlaws, hit that like button and subscribe for more gaming deep dives. Drop a comment and tell me, would you rather be a Jedi or an outlaw in the Star Wars universe? I'll catch you in the next video. And remember, never tell me the odds.